Okay, our next question comes from Dan via email.
No opportunity to make comments.
Dan states, I have 4 children who I hope will go to university and aging parents who will probably require care in the next few years. How will your party's platform impact the burdens of care that my family will face? Mr. Burrows?
Well, thank you for the question that has been sent in by Dan. Very good question. Many young families in this constituency, how will they move forward? How will they deal with education? I mentioned in the answer to the last question the education passport. That certainly is a help to young families as they are saving for their children's future. The other question that was asked was talking about, part of the question talks about elderly parents or other family members that are sick or ill. One of the things that I'm very pleased to have in the Liberal platform is a policy that will allow people to take time off work to take care of an ill family member, be it an older person or a younger person or maybe a spouse. And if they do need to take time off work, there's going to be a tax credit that will be available to them. It'll be a refundable tax credit, which means that no matter what your income is, you will get the tax credit. So often if you're taking time off work, you're not paying taxes, so you will still get benefit to the $1,300. Also, there will be a program put in place that will complement the unemployment insurance program so that you will qualify for 6 months of a similar payment to unemployment. So there are parts of the Liberal platform that will help to address those problems.
Thank you. Ms. Robinson?
Hi, thank you very much, Dan. I agree with the Liberal candidate, and I think that his platform is excellent in terms of helping with benefits and whatnot. Also, the NDP recognizes the sandwich generation, where you are responsible for your children as well as your parents. So what we've looked at in terms of education is increasing the funding to the provinces and to reduce the amount of tuition that will be charged. We'll look at tax credits for those who have to pay afterwards in terms of their tuition. We're also looking at credit card reduction so that we can reduce your credit card from interest rates prime plus 5%. So if you have to use your credit card, we're going to actually make it easier for you to get through. And then we look at how we're going to help you with your older members of the family. We're going to do things like increase the length of time you can be on EI benefits for giving care to older relatives. And we're going to help you with renovations for granny suites and also for the equipment that you need in the homes for the older people to live. So we have taken a good look at just that, the people in that bracket. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Blanche?
Hi, Dan. Thank you for the question. The Green Party, we recognize that education it's a right. It's a right that all people should have the opportunity to go for post-secondary education. And with that in mind, we have different policies in place to ease people who come from a low income, especially Indigenous people, recent immigrants. And we also have a program that's very specific to the economic situation we're in today. What we envision doing is having the creation of 40,000 youth summer positions. We call it Youth and Social Development Corps. And we would have 40,000 positions for students for a 4-year period, for a total of 106,000 positions over that time frame. And students that completed that would end up having a $4,000 tuition rate decrease, basically a bursary. So that's one of the things we're doing to help students. Our approach to seniors is we want to do as much as possible, empower seniors to stay at home as long as possible. We want to give them a dignified experience where they can continue to contribute to the economy. I see the hand raising, so I'll have to leave it there. Thank you for the question, Dan.
Thank you. Mr. Armstrong?
Well, in the Conservative platform that we put forward, and in the budget we actually put forward in the House of Commons, we have allocated a $2,000 tax credit for people who have to stay home and take care of an elderly parent who may need support, or a child who may have a disability. So if you have to stay home and give up income, we're trying to provide a tax credit which will provide you that time for transition when you need to set up a plan to take care of your relative in need. For the sandwich generation, Well, one of the issues they face is they're getting closed in on both sides, with the baby boomers reaching retirement and young people looking for jobs. It makes it more and more difficult for young families to progress positively. One of the things we've done through the Economic Action Plan is we have boosted the support for the summer student jobs program so that we can help people earn money during the summers to go and pay tuition, to go to university. It's something the federal government can do to support this. Our government increased the summer student jobs program by $10 million. It's a very successful program. In our riding, it's been about $800,000 over the last 2 years worth of student jobs going here. Now, what does that mean? It means that over 220 summer students in this community will get a job supported by the federal government. It's been such a successful program nationwide that we've now made that $10 million additional investment into that program a permanent fixture of the summer student jobs program.
Thank you. Mr. Natchik.
Thank you. And thank you, Dan, for the question. First, for the four children that you have that are going to be going into university, what the CHP has is that we believe that for the student loans, for students that qualify for student loans, they shouldn't have to pay it back for 10 years, and that would be interest-free. So we would want the student to get their university education, get into the workforce, get well established before having to pay back the student loan. My daughter was one of those that had to get a student loan and too quickly was trying to pay back the student loan after the university training that she had. So after 10 years, the student would be into the workforce and be able to afford that. Another thing that we would want to see to help, because we believe that parents and the students should have a say in the type of education that they get, is that part of the transfer payment from the federal government to the provinces should be in the form of student vouchers. So it doesn't just all go to the province and directly to the universities. The parents and the students would have a portion of that student voucher, so they can pick and lobby to the universities that they want to go to. And so now the universities would be having to look at what type of curriculum these students are looking for. So that's a couple. I didn't get to the family care allowance, but for the seniors, but hopefully I'll be able to address that later.
Thank you very much.